Yo, yo,
Yo, yo, yo.
we're here.
We're back again. Welcome, everybody. It's another night, special night of Island Boys Football Talk. It's the post Super Bowl show. Of course, we got Jizzle in the building representing the Philadelphia Eagles. We got Shredy in the building representing the Carolina Panthers. And we'll have C Money back in the building this weekend for a weekend show. Now, we usually will do the shows on Tuesday, but yesterday was all about the day of love. So we let it slide, but we're back today to talk about what went down in the Super Bowl. And
Tough one,
it's Jizzle team. There's no
tough one,
love
tough one,
what
tough
comes
one.
out for that result that came out of the Super Bowl. But of course, we know Jizzle went to Philly
Mhm.
and watched the Super Bowl. And unfortunately, he came up 38 35, 3 point shot. We're going to get into what we saw in the Super Bowl and then all the news
Yeah,
around the
man.
NFL with the
A lot of
Panthers and
news,
the
a good bit of news
Eagles.
going on.
Got a lot of stuff going on. So, but like I said, we're glad to be back. Ready to talk some football with you guys. We
Last
can
game of the
always
season.
last game of the 2022-2023 season. No, it's on to the off season. But before we get on to the off season, yeah, 38, 35, Jizzle. I know it was your team. What is your thoughts on this game?
Well, before the game started, I was in high spirits. You know what I mean? I was confident a whole lot. Jalen Hurts played great. Super. Whoever has doubts about Jalen Hurts being a quarterback, being a franchise quarterback, a top 10, a top 5 quarterback, I mean, you can't say nothing no more. The doubts are gone. He is a franchise quarterback. He is a top 5, top 10 quarterback. He played in Super Bowl. He dominated in that. He played not dominated, but he played great in that game, as expected. It was a great game by Kansas City as well. Of course, Mahomes being Mahomes and Andy Reid being Andy Reid. They were able to do certain things that a lot of us we talked about in the past couple of shows. Um, but going deep down into this game, early in the first half, you saw we were able to take care of business somehow in that first half, being up 24-14. Yes, Jalen Hurts had a fumble. Um, what you call it? Say Amalu had I think it was a fast start that kind of pushed us back a little bit. Then after Jalen Hurts had a fumble, and after that, happened after that, Kansas City recovered and scored a touchdown. I think at that point it was 21-14. Um, those are mistakes that you don't want to have all in that first half. Probably if you had that ball at that point in time, you probably wouldn't be able to drive down and get a touchdown. You know what I mean? You have
Yeah.
that, then you actually have a two possession game going into the locker room at halftime. You've been a whole lot more comfortable. Defense played good in that first half. They held, like I said before, minus that Jalen Hurts fumble, they held Kansas City to 7 points in the first half. That was good on their part. And like I said before, Jalen Hurts played great. The offense played great. The play calling was great. From start to finish in that first half, but that first half alone was good. Now, in the second half, no, is where you kind of see why I usually get on Gannon at times. Um, and what you call it with his stop zone coverage not being able to adjust. You saw where in that second half where Andy Reid and Chiefs were able to adjust. They didn't allow us to get the big plays down the field as much. Steve, as you saw with Steve Spagnol, he realized that the he wasn't getting pressure with your front foot on both sides because you saw how this field wasn't wasn't great at all. The field conditions was horrible. But being that he being a veteran coach, he understood that I can't get pressure with my front four. I can't get pressure with Chris Jones and Frank Clark. So what did he decide to do? He decided to send a few blitzes, whether A gap blitz, overload blitz and stuff like that, because he knows that at some point you're gonna have to bring pressure. And it was able to work because he was able to get us out of the field. On the other hand, John Gannon, he didn't bring any pressure. He didn't play any press man. constantly sitting zone coverage for the longest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is the reason why you see I get hard on Gannon at times, and all in the season. It's not because I'm trying to chastise the guy. I'm trying to jump on the guy. It's because of games like this. We all know his track record against great quarterbacks. He's horrible against great quarterbacks. He's horrible against great quarterbacks. He doesn't know how to adjust. I'll get back to that. But on the other side with the offense, we didn't try to um what do you call it? Implement the run game a whole lot. Miles Sanders, I don't know what he was doing. He looked like he couldn't find the holes. He wasn't patient.
Yeah, I don't think you guys utilize. Okay, you
Right,
utilize Jalen Hurts, but you didn't utilize the
right,
running backs
right,
enough.
right. And Miles Sanders was constantly bouncing the ball outside. Instead, he wasn't patient enough to sit there and wait for the blocks to develop and hit the holes. You don't need a big home run hit. You know what I mean? You just need a little 3 to 5 yard gain, and that's it. Just keep the chains moving. Positive yards. That's all you need. So I think we should have. I think Sirianni and Steichen should have at least tried to implement the run game a whole lot more in that second half. But and what you call it? There was another play where Jalen Hurts hit Quez in a wide open pass, right in the
Yeah.
hands. Should have
Yep.
catch that. That would have been a big difference because you would have been right there in the red zone. You catch that ball, you're right in the red zone, and you probably score a touchdown. That and on that drive, you had to settle for a field goal. You got to make them plays, and you kind of see why after the Dallas game, why Quez was benched all in the season. I mean, late in the season, because yes, he has the speed, but he doesn't have the playmaking ability. Catch the ball. He couldn't catch the ball. You saw where in that Dallas game, or late this season, where he wasn't able to run crisp routes, wasn't able to come back to the ball, where to find the ball and stuff like that, and catch the ball. You kind of see why he was on the in the doghouse for a little bit. Now you had an opportunity in this game to be a kind of a Super Bowl hero. You could see catch the ball. You're down in the red zone, and probably get your team in good field position, probably score a touchdown. But in that case, you had to settle for a field goal. You can't settle for field goals when you're playing Kansas City. You gotta score touchdowns, and that was the issue right there. Like I said before, Jalen Hurts. I mean, he's proven me wrong throughout the season, yet again and again and again, and he's done it a whole lot more in this Super Bowl. I mean, I'm sold right now. Sold. He was making accurate passes all game. Well, Shane is here.
Yeah, just tell him about the show.
Well, like I said, yeah. But he was making accurate passes all game. He was playing great. I mean, honestly, he outplayed Mahomes in this game.
Wait. Well, what time it be over there?
Well, yeah, he outplayed Mahomes in this game. But like I said before, and Shane, I was talking about it with Gannon again. Like I said before, all in the season, if you don't practice blitzing, if you don't practice playing press man coverage, if you don't practice certain things, when it comes time to do it, you're not gonna do it. And that's what happened in this game. Why? For instance,
Yeah, I ain't watched the game. I ain't watched the game yet. So I
you
got some
see,
time when I get back and watch the game.
right? You saw, okay, in the first half, first of all, in the first half, that Travis Kelce touchdown. Why do you have Marcus Epps one-on-one on Travis Kelce? That's a big mismatch. Should have never happened. Why didn't you have Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Aya Slot Kana on Travis Kelce on that first touchdown? And in the second half, you were double covering Travis Kelce, but you forgot about Juju Smith-Schuster. Why didn't you have your best corner back on Juju instead of Bradbury for the whole game? On the other side of the bar, you saw where yes, the Chiefs have rookie cornerbacks. Yes, they have rookie safeties. Yes, they have rookie linebackers. But you know what Spagnuolo was doing? He was playing a lot of press man single high. Regardless if he got bunt or not. he was bringing blitz, regardless if he got bunt or not. But you know what happened? He was able to get certain stops in that fourth quarter. And that's all we needed in the fourth quarter from getting stops. Another thing again, where was your NASCAR package? You have all these defensive linemen on your roster. Where was your NASCAR package? Where was your Hassan Reddicks? Your Derek Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham. Where was your NASCAR package at some point to get a stop? Another thing again.
I think
these defensive
a big thing for you guys was for a team that had 70 sacks in the regular season, getting 0 sacks in a whole Super Bowl. I mean, we could blame the field, but still,
I ain't blaming the field.
You guys predicate on
right.
You guys predicate yourself and getting pressure.
Right, but you as a defensive coordinator realize that your front four ain't get home. Regardless of the field or whatever. You understand that your front four is not getting home. You got to find ways to bring pressure. You got to find ways to get a stop. Same thing again. Our defensive tackles had a horrible game in this game. Our linebackers were horrible altogether from start to finish. Where were the linebackers to stop the run? Where were the linebackers to fill the gaps? I constantly saw TJ Edwards getting last in plays. Last. Didn't know where to go.
Well, let me ask you something. How much points you had realistically thought you to keep Kansas City to?
I expect them to score like 28 points.
28. So
28.
But remember he do his prediction. He had do his prediction, you know. So his prediction was high too.
My prediction was high.
Actually, he had said 20, 28.
I think at
20. Some people it was high. It was like if it was in 20, if it was in 20 high 28, it was 20 something.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So I knew that they were gonna score, but I was expecting our defense at least to get one stop. The next thing again, the 2 touchdowns were the I think
you get beat the same way and that stupid motion.
Right. Listen. You know where that play came from? Where Sky Moore was on he was on an NFL network, and he said Eric Bieniemy was watching film and he watched the Jacksonville Jaguars film. Mind you, that's a game all in the season.
Yeah,
Jacksonville Jaguars call the same play.
Yep.
Right? So they took that out, realized we're gonna try this and see if it works. No, you as a defensive coordinator, you had 2 weeks to prepare. You didn't try to look at the film and look at your weaknesses and see where teams attack your defense and try to fix that. And even okay, you didn't do that. All right, the touchdown happened. So you didn't decide to go on the sideline, talk to your players, tell them, look, if this happens again, this is what we're gonna do. You didn't even try to do that. Why are you calling a zero blitz in the red zone? Answer this question. Why the hell are you calling a zero blitz in the red zone? Against a quarterback like Mahomes. Why are you calling a zero blitz? Simple as that.
I just really want to know.
Again, why are you having Robert Quinn playing DN when he hasn't played?
I want to know.
He played all season.
I would really want to know. I thought you had Vic Fangio in. If Vic Fangio in, and this is what come out of it, but he need to get fired from Miami before he start.
It ain't Vic Fangio fault. If you got a defensive coordinator who doesn't know how to make adjustments, then that's what's gonna happen. There was no press man. He gonna buy me one soon. He gonna buy one soon. But you got 2 good corners. I mean, you shouldn't be fear. You playing soft zone coverage all game. All game he was playing soft zone coverage. He was pitch and catch with Mahomes. Pitch and catch. I don't understand that. Your offense is scoring points. Your offense is moving the ball down the field. At some point, you gotta come up. You gotta find out to come up with a stop as a defensive coordinator. I'm happy he gone. I'm so glad he gone. But that's why you lost the game, and it's sorry that Jalen Hurts played such a great game because he would have been the Super Bowl MVP. He played such a great game.
He did.
Such a great game.
Just let me
Probably
know when you want me chiming.
Probably the best game he played earlier. Best game he played earlier. But you know what you could do. Thank God, Thank
Except
God
for the fumble. I don't think he don't fumble. He don't fumble.
He don't fumble. It was an unscheduled fumble, but he was able to recover from that fumble. You know what I mean? The team recovered from the fumble. Going into the first half, it was 24-14. But in the second half, the Chiefs score on all four possessions. All four possessions they scored on. On special teams, you see what happened again. The punter shanked the punt. Ball went the other way. You know what I mean? Tony caught it, ran it all for 60 yards down to what? The 5-yard line, and bam, easy score. Special team was off.
See, the thing about it is, if you look at stats that a lot of persons do, if you was to tell me that Patrick Mahomes would win the Super Bowl with 182 passing yards, you would say that you crazy. That would never happen in any history here. Patrick Mahomes just won a Super Bowl throwing 182 yards. 21 or 27, 182 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Average at 8 yards a carry.
And all of yards come in the second half.
The thing about it is, Philly dominated time of possession 35 minutes to 24 minutes. Plain and simple, 35 to 24. But that second half
couldn't get a stop.
It's not only that too, but your two running backs 37 rushing yards. Well, if you count Boston Scott, 3 carries for 8 yards, 37 and 8 is how much? 45. 45 rushing yards. That's 45. Jalen Hurts had 70 rushing yards by himself, 15 attempts, 70 yards. Those guys ran the ball. The Chiefs, Pikachu had 76 rushing yards. McKinnon had 34, over 100 rushing yards. And then, Mahomes got that big run.
The big one. He got
down to the end. I ain't really looking at that. But for the Chiefs to win with only 182 passing yards, you got to look at something that and then still didn't have the time of possession on their side.
Right.
Something was wrong because
when
I watched that first half, I said, "Oh Jesus!" Like I gotta have to buy this jersey. No, because I don't think the Eagles are gonna stop. The Eagles look like they're gonna put up 100 points. That's how they had to look at stop.
I thought so too.
And then you got the fumble, but that was fine. Okay, the fumble, pick it up. But the Eagles, Chris Jones and them had no answer for the Eagles.
They had an answer.
Then in the second half, them forced 1 or 2 punts. Couple punts.
They made adjustments.
I think what changed the game for me was this is just my opinion, Jizzle. That big punt return that the Chiefs had.
Yeah, that was a game changer too.
That changed the way the game was because you could feel like Kansas City they want to take momentum, but they just needed a spark. And remember, I said it on the show before. Special teams play a very important role in these stuff.
Right.
That big punt return kind of like side. You could feel how it started shaking. It's like, okay. Remember, I said it gonna come down. I didn't have 38, 34. I had 28, 24. But I said that it gonna come down to the end and Jalen Hurts gonna have to do it. Unfortunately, he only had 8 seconds to do it, so that don't really count. But even up to the controversial holding call, I ain't getting into that because it's still that still don't have nothing to say. Yeah, it was a call or not. Yeah,
shouldn't come to that.
The way the game play. Philadelphia does get after the quarterback. The thing about it is that thing happening. Kansas City thing happening. I pressing everybody and
exactly.
I forcing Mahomes to step on that ankle and throw the ball.
Exactly.
They just leave Mahomes there. moving outside the pocket and he just giving you these
Exactly.
small passes.
Exactly.
Mahomes, he had no pressure. He had time. You got to force Mahomes to put pressure on that ankle
Exactly.
and throw the ball. Throw it, because when he feel that ankle stepping into the throws, it can bother him.
Exactly.
They never once did it. Say what you want. The Chiefs put pressure on Jalen Hurts, had forced him
All
on a
second
few
half.
punts.
All
Yeah, they
second
put
half.
Spagnola decided to change up something. He thinks Spagnola
Exactly.
had Bolton get after the quarterback, had all them fellas do. You gotta do you think that the Chiefs knew that them rookies can't just stay there and play with AJ Brown and Devontae Smith? Even Chris,
Exactly.
that thing against Chris is the one that messed up the catch. Plain
Exactly.
and simple.
Simple. Yep.
But they knew how the defense was. Spagnola said, no, I gonna have to force Jalen Hurts to do some stuff, and hopefully he get it do, which he didn't, and they forced a few punts and everything.
Right.
But two things from that game with the Eagles was they didn't stick. Okay, Jalen Hurts run the ball. I don't consider stick to the run game. That's an option. He do a lot of read options.
Right.
Fine. But they didn't get you didn't get our running backs involved enough. You didn't lean on them running backs. And then on the defensive side, like you see, Cannon stick to this script that he had in the regular season. But he should have learned from that Dallas game, and Dallas put up far to something points.
Exactly.
Even though Jalen Hurts was injured in that game, the defense wasn't injured. The defense was healthy.
Right.
And Dak stand up there and put 5 to 7 points up.
Exactly.
If Dak put up 5 to 7 points, what do you think a person that 3 times better than Dak gonna do? You got to learn from certain things. I don't understand how he just played like that. I expect all of them to score. I did. If I should have actually said Total one was my score, Total 4, Total 1. Okay, I don't know. You can't stop them so easy, but there's stuff that you could do to help limit what gonna happen to you. And it just looked real bad. It looked real bad that them 2 motion plays end up being wide open the same way. Where's the communication?
Exactly.
Where is the communication in that thing? Because Tuna was wide open, Sky Moore was
wide open.
I don't understand how in the world you got people so wide open. That don't make sense. So if you're telling me that if somebody from Philly tell me it was a communication error, who the communication error on? It got to be on the veteran leaders on that field. Because you can't get beat like that. You cannot. Yeah, I know you could only limit Kelsey to how much you want, but outside of Kelsey and Juju, nobody else do nothing on the Chiefs.
Exactly, ain't nobody else. So
Mahomes threw 182 yards.
You had to find ways to get a stop. For instance, you had there was one possession. I think it was the possession before. I think it was the last possession the Chiefs had. But Juju was wide open on both sides of the field, and I think on first down. I think it was first down. The 2 first down. I think it was the second drive. I can't remember what drive it was, but you saw where Kansas City ran a play and Juju Smith was wide open for a first down on the left side of the field. Yeah. Then after they come out, they call another play. Juju Smith wide open again on the right side of the field for easy first down. I mean, at some point, why didn't you call press man? Simple.
Just me looking at this. The Philly, the Eagles had 72 total plays compared to 53 plays by the Kansas City Chiefs.
Right.
That means you just leave players on the field.
The difference is they were able to get us off the field. Kansas City scored in that
Kansas City was very efficient with the way they scored.
Right, exactly. On all 4 possessions they scored on.
They were very efficient with the way they scored on.
And that's the difference in the game. The second half, one team was able to make adjustments, the other team wasn't. And that's where you see the veteran coaches stepped in.
I mean, I know everybody like to give Andy Reid the credit only, but you gotta give the other persons that get everybody involved, because it's a total team effort.
Right. And BNMA had a wrinkle where where the boot where the guy came in and went back out. He saw Jacksonville do that, and that's like I said before. That's a game that happened early in the season. I think it was probably week 6. So he went all the way back, watching he probably watched every game the Eagles played and saw whatever weakness they had, and found that one little weakness, and took it and used it. Why didn't Gannon do that? Why didn't the defensive coaching staff do that?
I can't remember seeing that you blitz at all.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't see us blitz. I didn't even see us play press. Hardly play press, man.
The one that Mahomes get his little tweaky ankle again. He just move out the pocket.
Yeah, exactly. Fine. There was no blitz. There was no pressure.
But he didn't have the pressure at all.
Right. You should have known that the field ain't working. Right. Hassan Reddick is not a power rusher. He's a speed rusher. So he needs to hit the edge. Same thing as Josh Sweat. So now you realize the field ain't working for you. Right? Gannon, him and Gannon know. Spagnuolo's realized what was happening. So what did he do in the second half? He blitzed. He found ways to bring pressure, even though he had rookie corners. No. You got 2 Pro Bowl pro corners. It should be no excuse. It should be easy for you. You got safeties that could play man coverage. All you gotta do double Kelsey. Play press man, bump Juju out the road, bump Tony out the road. It'll make Mahomes hold that ball a little bit longer. Make him tap the ball a little bit longer. Simple as that. All you need is just one stop, and you walking home with the Super Bowl. One stop. Because the Chiefs wasn't stopping that offense. One stop, and you probably walking home with the Super Bowl.
It is.
I don't understand how Gannon got that job in Arizona.
We get to that later. We get to that later in the show because I know there's a lot to put on.
I'm so happy
there. That's just kind of curious, but the Super Bowl to me it went as smooth as I could have seen because we say defense wins championship, but these two offenses here. You stop it. The way to stop the Eagles is for them to stop themselves, which was the fumble 6. Right. And the way to stop the Chiefs is to broke up Mahomes, and the Eagles couldn't do that. You just don't stop them, and it's just gonna take one little turning point. If you look at it, the Kansas City always had good field position. Always had good field position, so they ain't had to do much. They were so effective, especially in that second half. They just keep scoring down the field, just moving on the field. And like I say, I keep going back to it. Mahomes only threw 182 passes. Yeah, whenever you watch Mahomes and the Chiefs and them score over 35 points, Mahomes got close to 400 yards.
Like 400 yards. Yeah.
They scored 38 points. Okay, take out the fumble 6. They still had to score 31 points, which was 4 touchdowns and a field goal.
Right.
He still had to do something.
Right, exactly.
And if I take out that big run in the final 2 minutes, he only had about 20 yards rushing. He had 20-something yards on that last run. That give him the spot so them could get the field goal and so. It's like
they capitalized on every possession they had.
Yeah, it's like the Eagles had every chance to go with the game and they just didn't.
That catch by Quez, that was a big one because
I don't know why he came off his feet for it. I don't know why he could just stand up.
Exactly. Stretch out, reach it, pull it in. You catch that, you in the red zone, bam. You right there probably at the 3-yard line. You catch that, you in the red zone. It's a guarantee you're gonna score.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. God's prayer next year when we come do our predictions, nobody tell me nothing when I pick Kansas City again, because everybody had picked Kansas City to come last this year. And then Kansas City come here and beat everybody there. Kelsey say, all I had that thought that Kansas City were building tech there. Orlando Brown say 70 sacks in the season and not one them get this in the Super Bowl tech there. You don't tell me nothing when I pick Kansas City first next year again. I done with you in this Denver and if Sean Payton think he can come out there and bully Kansas City, he wrong. Justin Hubbard got Brandon Staley, so he'd never win. As for the Raiders, I don't even want to talk with them. So I keep this Kansas City. I don't know. It's just moving away from.
You got one of the best. You got the best coach in the league. You got the best.
That's my thing. The year before, it was the chunk plays. You had Tyreek Hill. He catch the ball, he gone full speed. You had Hardman deep down the field. You had Kelsey. They had Clyde Edwards-Helaire last year.
They even had Hardman in the Super Bowl.
This year, no Tyreek Hill, no Mecole Hardman, no Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So you had Juju, who does run intermediate routes. You still had Kelsey. You got Pikachu, the Pokemon. And then you got Marquez Valdez-Scantling that ain't doing not one thing there. Jerick McKinnon, who's still there and good. And Tooney. Tooney is more of your gadget players kind of thing. Sky mostly gadget players.
Exactly.
And they still found a way to be successful. I don't care what you say. You got it. The thing about it is, you guys last 38-35. The same way preaching the Chiefs, you're gonna have to preach the Eagles. If you don't have that quarterback, you ain't making it nowhere. The only team I know that could make it outside of a good quarterback is the 49ers, because them defense elite. But outside of them, but you still got to have a competent quarterback. Josh Johnson can't do it in San Fran when he had come in the game. Josh Johnson can't do it. But their defense could carry that team. But outside of them, if you don't have a damn good quarterback, you ain't making it nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Because Burrow gonna lead that team. Mahomes gonna lead that team. Jalen Hurts gonna lead that team.
What we had talked about in the earlier the season is that when the Eagles went on that tear, and that was I think 3-4. And I tell kids, you're watching the Eagles. And the reason they're watching the Eagles is because the Eagles were executing on all three phases of the football field. Offense, defense, special teams were executing. If you get a team that can execute on all three phases of the team, that's a guaranteed Super Bowl. You know, from what you're saying, because I ain't watched the game, from what you're saying, it sounds like because the Eagles are getting, not the Eagles, the Chiefs are getting positive field position all the time, it sounds like special teams was off in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And if you're clicking on all three phases, you're going to lose. You're going to leave something open and you're going to lose. You can't give Mahomes and them good positive field position every time. That's easy money for them. They will dump that ball off and just go down the field. You know, and then it sounded like the defense fell asleep in the second half. Because I was kind of shocked when she did message me on the plane and see the Chiefs win this Super Bowl.
I won't say fell asleep, but the Chiefs never made no adjustment.
The Eagles didn't make no adjustment.
I mean, the Eagles, the Eagles defense
no adjustment, none.
They stayed like Gannon say, I had this script and this script gonna work. I ain't changing it.
And he ain't change it.
And he refused to change. They ain't pressed nobody nothing.
We had these conversations.
And this is
we
why
had these conversations. We had these conversations before. We talk about script players.
Right, this is why you see how to get on that guy. It ain't because of what happened. Yeah, the team had 70 sacks. The team had 70 sacks because you played bad quarterbacks and you got talent on that defense. It wasn't because of his
you know why a team might get a lot of sacks? Because when your team are big and you got to pass the ball, of course they're gonna get after the quarterback. When I team down 20, what do you think he's doing? He got to throw.
When you could play one style of defense, you know, I was look superior.
Right.
Because if you go down quick 21, if you go down quick 21-7 in a game, you know, the defense gotta play is a zone coverage or a comfort package where you know he gonna have to throw the ball. You could send you could send 5, you could send 6, you could send 7, and he has to pass the ball. He has to catch up.
Of course, yeah.
You eliminate one side of the team, so
you getting sacks because nobody gotta do all. If I gotta throw. You don't think my defensive ends know that I come in? They're going after the quarterback one. But no, if we're in a close game and you gotta watch the run and watch the pass, the Chiefs are only on third and long, not too much time. They were never that far back on third and long. It was always third and manageable, and that was good with the Chiefs. The Chiefs made sure that they would not get into third and long because that's when the rush was gonna come. They got in it a few times, but they made sure that let's not get caught in this.
Right.
But like I said, I give credit to the Chiefs line, offensive line, because to go against the defensive line that the Eagles have and not give up sacks. Yes, the field was a little bad.
What teams didn't give up sacks?
You give up 2.
2 sacks, well.
Yeah, that was a guy.
He didn't give up 2 sacks. Probably he run out of bungs.
Well, are you no? He
It
ain't
wasn't
get
no
hit.
sex.
He
And
moved out the pocket.
Moving
McCall
on the
fumble a
pocket.
sack.
Yeah,
McCall fumble a sack, you know.
Probably they call that
that's
sex.
one, and I think he had moved out the pocket and then tried to run.
Right.
And if you
When I
don't
was
pass the
running,
line
right,
of scrimmage, is like a sack.
right. But I mean, but like I said before, this is the reason why you saw all in the season and why you see me cussing Gannon, because situations like this. Okay, what we're gonna happen if you played a good quarterback in Super Bowl. This is the reason why I wanted him to do sort of different things on defense.
Not if he play
This
a
is
good quarterback. I think it's more of when I get him to a tight game and he has to make that adjustment. I think he can't do it, and I think that's why we're getting you upset with it. He don't adjust
right.
to when the offense start to drive.
Exactly. When you see
You know,
exactly
he don't change the defense.
right, even
And
in the second half, even in the second half, you saw where the Chiefs made the adjustments on offense and did certain things or whatever. And he still stayed through the third quarter, through the fourth quarter, still stayed in that same soft zone coverage, constantly playing 10
in
man,
the
10 yards off.
NFL, in the National Football League, you can't come out showing the same look every time. You can't.
Exactly.
You can't come
Mahomes
out doing the
against
same thing because
Mahomes, he's gonna
the offensive
eat you.
coordinator is watching what.
Right. He's gonna eat
Right.
you all game. So that's the reason why you saw me get on Gannon all in the season, late in the season, when even though we were winning games, is because of situations like this. I mean, eventually it was gonna happen. It was gonna happen. Sorry to say it, but it was gonna happen. Sorry to say it happened in this Super Bowl, but it happened. And like I said before, I'm glad he gone.
Any team that could have put up points against IU was always a problem.
I'm glad he gone. I'm so glad he
Right.
gone.
And I thought that y'all physicality when I come into more play the game because like I said, the Chiefs were
It
coming
was a
doing bull banged up.
it was a
So I don't know
physical
why
game on
y'all.
both sides. But like I said before, he should have like even Shady said before, he should have played press man. Press man. You shouldn't fear those receivers. If that was a 49ers in that
I wasn't
game,
fair. I think
if that was the 49ers in that game, you think D'Amico was going to play soft zone coverage all game? He played press man.
we were sending
He
power.
blitz
Yeah,
him.
we were sending pressure. Yep. As soon as we see that ankle, it's like blood in the water.
You think if he saw that any defensive coordinator,
Let me
whoever
show you
if
how.
it
Let me
start
show
going
you
up,
how. Let me show you how slack it was. Slane them he ain't even had to follow a receiver because they even got no respect for no kind of receiver out there. They even follow a receiver to say like I gotta follow Justin Jefferson as one-on-one and them kind of thing. If I was Gannon, I would put in
You say
Slay.
they would hang them off.
I would put in Slay and
and Juju,
Kelsey
Kelsey too.
Kelsey.
Yeah,
Because if you look at it,
We talked about it.
after that 182 yards, Kelsey get a majority. I was putting Slay and Kelsey and everybody else play
press
wherever.
man.
We
But
talked about it on the show on Saturday. We did talk about it. That all you have to worry about is Kelsey. If
you know
you got Kelsey, you have to worry about is Junior.
and you know the crazy thing is, whenever Kelsey get catch, Kelsey wide open, you know. Yo,
wide
if he
open
no
in the
little
zone.
catch in coverage, you
Exactly.
know, wide open Kelsey being.
And I cussing all game, and I making them recognize. I understand. I want to know why is he so open?
Kelsey was wide open. I don't understand. Wide open.
I don't know how you could be so lackadaisical as a defensive coordinator. How you could be so nonchalant as a defensive coordinator. I don't understand. In the NFL, really. Doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense to me. That's what you lost the game pretty much.
Like I say, give credit to Kansas City. They are the ones that made the adjustment. And we talked about it. There's an experience versus inexperience Super Bowl. The Chiefs being there already. They know how it is. The Eagles, they got a taste of it. And
But it gonna be kind of hard enough for the Eagles because you just lose your offensive coordinator and your defensive coordinator.
Well, I'm glad the defensive coordinator again. I'm glad he got.
I know you're glad the defensive coordinator gone. And I think you gotta deal with that. But I think when Steichen gone too, no, I mean that's your two card
I think
coordinators. That kind of rough.
what do you call it?
yeah,
Brian Johnson
I don't think the
should be
offense in
decent.
bad shape because at the end of the day, it's still Sirianni offense. Sirianni just relieved the play calling to Steichen. Steichen called the play, but that's still a Sirianni offense. So I don't think it's gonna hinder much there. The defense, I just think that they're gonna somebody else, whoever they get, gonna be a better version of Gannon because Gannon didn't utilize the team the right way,
at
the
all.
defense.
At all.
So I think
If
it could
he
be a blessing in disguise. I mean, most the thing about it is most what I learned today too was like when Sirianni was in Indy, he never called the plays even though he was the offensive coordinator. Frank, why he called the plays?
Mhm.
He come over. He wanted to call his plays. He did call it, but then he get a little backlash. He will
Mhm.
leave it to Steichen, but it's still his offense. He
Mhm.
still got
Still
his
his
hand
offensive.
in the thing.
Mhm.
I believe he'll call back the plays again next season and just have Brian
No, he
Johnson
said
game
no.
planning.
He said he ain't doing it. He said he
So
like
he can leave
in the
Brian
Smith.
Johnson
Right.
thing,
God
call the
bless.
plays.
Right.
Well, that's fine. Brian Johnson work with help with thing. I do know that Steichen and Gannon gonna pick after that coaches and Trido. They gonna pick people gonna go with them.
Again, and pick at the shit he want to pick. Hey.
Because and then that's the hardest part there. You don't want too much of your coaches gone, and then it just like you gotta change certain things. And so again, I think the defense gonna take the biggest hit because Sirianni could still run his offense, but the defensive side you bring it in, you gotta change the whole way your defense and your terminology and everything. I still think Sirianni gonna still use the same terminology on offense, but on defense, your whole terminology gonna change now.
Bring in somebody. You gotta come with the same 4-2 scheme or whatever. But bring they'll have to bring in a veteran who could work with that defense. Don't bring in.
If are you to bring in like a Chris Rashad or one of those guys?
I would
Like,
like a Lovey Smith.
nah, I don't know if he gonna. Well,
I'll take a Lovey Smith.
you gotta tell me. I ain't
I'll
studying
take a
it.
Lovey Smith. I don't know who
I,
else is out there, but I'll take a Lovey Smith.
I ain't studying the Eagles right now.
They say another person after the is one of the Panthers linebackers coach.
Al Holcomb.
Yeah, I'll hook him. Yeah. They
He
say
blind.
I don't know. I don't know, but
He like Gannon.
that's what they see. If he like Gannon, I don't
He
want a team. Keep him over there.
he's Steve Wilkes and Gannon Odyssey.
Keep him. I don't. But all I want,
Look at
like I
you,
said
man. You
before,
is you so psycho.
I want an aggressive attacking
You better
defensive
out
coordinator.
attack a Chris Rashad was a good coordinator in Seattle and then in the Saints. Chris Rashad is an aggressive defensive coordinator, and
I'll take him too.
He was a DB coach when you had the Legion of Boom in Seattle. He's a well respected coach and good on the defense. We interviewed him, but we didn't take him. But we got Evero, so but he's out there. I mean,
Can't get
Lovie
no
Smith is
passive.
out there.
I getting tired of these passive defensive coordinators.
If I was
Had enough.
Sirianni, I was getting a veteran one, so I
Veteran,
could
exactly.
concentrate on the offense. Then he concentrate on the defense.
Right.
Go for Wade Phillips.
Wade
Get he
Phillips
out
ain't
there.
coaching no more.
I'd pull him out of
He
retirement
done.
and say, yeah, bring your ass over here. Let's
He
go.
done. He ain't coaching no more.
I'd tell he bring your ass over here. Let's go.
If that's the case, he might as well try to get Rex Ryan.
But he interviewed for Denver's offensive coordinator, a defensive coordinator position.
Yeah, till he come over to the Philly.
Really? I surprised he leaving the broadcasting team.
Well, he just interviewed. That mean he can get a job,
Right.
but he interviewed Sam Peter interviewed him for the thing. So I don't know, but like Sheen just said, Steichen is in Indianapolis and Gannon is in Arizona. I personally got a problem with that Gannon hire because really
So
you
horrible
try.
he was in the Super Bowl.
No, it's not. It's not that. It's like you gonna tell me that Arizona went through all kind of interviews. Gannon's first
Again,
interview was the day after the Super Bowl, and all of a sudden you hire that like an analyst said today. That's a huge slap the face to like somebody like Steve Wilkes.
Mm-hmm.
When you hire Steve Wilkes, that was a defensive guru, and treat the man so bad in that 1 year that he think it for you, and then was so quick to go hire Jonathan Gannon. Come on, man. You trying to tell me that you went hire Gannon over Steve Wilkes? Something got to be wrong there. Something got to be wrong
that
there.
team, that team gonna suffer for the next 5 years.
I believe I waiting to see who them offensive coordinator is because Kyler gonna cost every last one of them right there.
But
Because you trying to
he
tell
was
me
supposed to have something to do with the
I
quarterback.
don't know nothing about that. You trying to tell me that Gannon was the best option for you, but you see too, they let all them candidates dwindle down. Remember them interview like 4 6 people. They said that the finals was like a Gannon and Cincinnati Bengals defensive coordinator, the a more experienced one. But you trying to tell me you interview Gannon on Monday and then Monday night you fall in love with Gannon and he get a job. Choose there's something wrong. You can't tell me. Don't tell me that nonsense that Gannon just come there. The NFL is a sad place, by sad place. And then again, Steichen gone to the Colts. I understand the relationship with Frank Wright and all of them. It's just a treat all the time.
But
Why
Eric good.
sorry, bye? But be enemy.
Mhm.
Them say, you know, the guy that's saying that first you don't succeed, you keep trying and trying and trying. Ever be anybody done trying? But they're all saying that is and the Reed offense in BNB just a hand the pot, so he don't really do all the stuff. But they
What was
say
Doug
for
Peterson?
he, I
What
don't know.
was
So,
Matt Nagy?
but this is why I
Mike
saying
Capshaw?
I don't understand. They say the only way they're gonna take BNB serious is if he leave on the Andy Reid and own into your own offensive coordinator position, and then because he just interviewed, he both the interview for Washington. We know Ron Rivera is the head coach. Ron Rivera is defensive. They say he needs to go to a team that has a defensive minded head coach and run the offense. When he run the offense and you see what happened, then they will take him serious. But we know that in
That's
the
a that's
truth.
a that's a that's a that's a damn shame that he have to prove himself later.
I don't understand. All of
It
a
doesn't
sudden,
make it doesn't make any sense.
Ben Johnson, the man went to first straight AFC Championship game and he still got to prove himself. That make any sense to anybody? That don't make a drop. Ben Johnson, even though I like Ben Johnson had one little good year with the
One good year.
Lions.
One
The
good year.
Lions didn't even make the playoffs. But all of a sudden, Ben Johnson is the next hot thing. Ben Johnson gonna come on the market next year, and then what gonna happen? He gonna get a head coaching job. Steve Wilson got to still there as defensive coordinator for the thing. BNM got still offensive coordinator. It just I don't know. It's a hard one to digest. And like I said, like if I had a team, of course I want BNM to come out there. But everybody don't see it that way. They pick everybody else. So we don't know. But I mean, KG's without his two coordinators, he'll have to build. We don't know who's gonna be the offensive coordinator, Brian Johnson. Then he'll have to find a quarterbacks coach and then keep elevating up, hiring in within. But we know that Steichen and Gannon gonna pull some of the Eagles coaches because that's how you get upgraded. Because they'll get a promotion with Steichen. And I think Steichen, they say Steichen very likely to keep Gus Bradley as the head coach, as the defensive coordinator in Indianapolis, because Indianapolis was blocking his interview straight. Because Indianapolis wanted to keep him. I mean, they're gonna leave the head coach deal with it, but they want a thing. And it's so crazy. Gannon get 5-year deals, they can get
I'll make sure he
6-year deal.
available.
Yeah, they don't want him to leave. Steichen, they say he and Steichen got a connection from in the Chargers when they were on the boat on the Chargers, and he did a good job. But Steichen get a 6-year deal. Gannon, I think, gonna be a 5 or 6. D'Amico get a 6-year deal, but you giving Gannon a 6-year deal to coach. I read like he come up in 2018. Gannon was a quality control coach. And now he a head coach.
I give him a year and a half. I give him a year and a half. When he get fired.
I don't understand that you a quality control coach, and then all of a sudden use the head coach from thing. When he was quality control coach, BNM was in the Super Bowl as offensive coordinator.
Exactly.
So,
0-17.
Doesn't make
0-17 next year.
I hope he go 0-17.
0-17. They may gonna win a game in that division, and then gonna get beat up whoever we play.
I know they say they wanted to focus more on defense. They were going a lot offense a lot of time with Kingsbury, but they wanted to focus more over to the defense. If you really wanted to focus more to the defense, you're gonna tell me Gannon was your best option? Gannon?
Exactly.
All them do is hire some little white fella there that them know them could bully and tell him what to do. They can't bully the black fella like Steve will. So they will hire the little yes man out there. Gannon gonna say, yeah, let me do this, let me do this. You think Gannon got any
So
control out there?
them choose a OC.
No, but he just get
And
hired. He
just
just
get
come in the
hurt. Yeah.
building today, so they ain't gonna choose nobody yet.
Because the offense ain't no good neither. Your offense coming from an air raid offense, right? You lose Hopkins. You say you got Kayla Murray. Who else you got? Who else you got on that team?
Oh,
Guy,
you got
James Conner.
well, wide
Old.
receivers. You
Probably
got
ain't gonna be there.
Hollywood.
Why does
You
he?
got Hollywood.
Yeah, you got
He ain't gonna be
Hollywood.
there. He ain't gonna be there. You think he's staying there?
Hollywood. Where he under contract? Yeah, they give him extension. Hopkins ain't gonna be there, but Hollywood gonna stay
Oh,
there.
Hopkins gone.
You got Rondale Moore,
Mandel Moore, yeah.
and I know nobody else.
Exactly. Running back is James kind of who I was injured. Then barely got offensive line. Yeah, Kayla Murray, who all of a sudden he got injury bug now, because he been injured now for the last 2, 3 seasons. Okay, he won't stay in the pocket.
Well, and he
I
ain't
don't know.
coming back till Kyler. I doubt Kyler. I think Kyler come back till mid-season.
Exactly. So,
So
really and truly, you're going to go there to do what? With what defense in that division?
I don't
You got
know.
to be crazy.
That ain't business. I just know them got on quarterbacks and they ain't
I
drafting
good.
a quarterback.
That's a easy. That's a easy. At least I know like 2 somewhere.
We got play him the next season too. So I hope you wash them out.
You got to play them or you playing the West, the NFC West next week.
We got play the NFC West.
Okay.
So
Well, I get a chance. I put like
wash them
50 on
out.
it. A 50 burger.
I want to do that.
I wish we were playing them. I think we got to play the Seahawks next year again. Cause we were second in the division. The Seahawks are second.
Our game gonna be fun too next year too in the future.
Yeah,
Them
yeah,
Biden San
yeah.
Fran talking about you straight. Come on,
Need
get them
to,
hands on the Eagles back.
need to take it
See
easy.
how you can get are you we can get fresh and alive.
Oh, yeah, but Philly got a lot of changes coming. Um, I think San Fran being quiet outside of the Steve Wilkes.
Yeah,
I
we
ain't hear
we
nothing more.
we good. We got like you said, after we pick up Steve Wilkes, we good. We had some internal coach shuffling, but that I'll handle I think. And our biggest issue now is I think I hear the man talking about the offensive line, doing some movements. I don't know if the man gonna stick with McGlinchey or not. So I'm trying to move them, see if they can move around there. And then we got our quarterback carousel issue. So
Yeah, I think they say I saw a report say that San Fran will probably bring in a veteran just because of the injuries to these quarterbacks, but it's not they're not gonna invest heavily in a veteran.
Right.
So we gotta see how it is. But I mean, from Carolina's point of view, I know I sent this to you guys already. Frank Lloyd is the head coach. We got Dom Capers as the senior defensive assistant. And we just recently picked up Jim Caldwell, which I feel is a really good move. Jim Caldwell is the senior offensive assistant, but he'll be working with defense, offense. He's like a de facto head coach too. So he's in the building helping Frank Wright. He and Frank Wright are very close. Du Staley is the running backs coach, assistant head coach, associate head coach, assistant head coach slash running back coach. Du Staley, Josh McCown, quarterback coach. We had James Campion on all the time, and then on the defense, Evero and Dam Keepers running the defense, and then they got the Rams defensive backs coach from last year. He's coming over as the DB coach this year too. So I think Franco is putting together a really good staff that has a lot of experience. I mean, him, Jim Caldwell, Josh McCown, the three of them with all the experience, you got to take a quarterback in the draft to
Mm-hmm.
groom. I don't see you going. I don't see them going. You still gotta have a veteran as the veteran presence. And like somebody said today, because I can see them going after like a Jacoby Brissett as the bridge quarterback because he knows Frank Wright's system. But you're gonna invest in a quarterback because you can't not invest in a quarterback when you got Frank Wright, Jim Caldwell, and and Josh McCown. And then our passing game coordinator is Frank Wright's right hand man in Indianapolis, Pete Frazier. So all those guys got wealth of experience. We still gonna hire offensive coordinator too. When you bring people into the building like Josh McCown and Jim Caldwell with Frank Wright, the only signal you sending me is you ready to draft a franchise quarterback. And right now, I can't go wrong if there's any of the four. Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, assault rifle, and Will Levis. I would even take a Hendon Hooker. 'Cause Hendon Hooker was playing good before he tear ACL.
Right.
The only knock on Hendon Hooker is like they say he's 25 years old already, but the rest is 21 and so. That's the only knock on Hooker. He 25 and coming off an ACL injury. But with this kind of staff that you got here, draft your quarterback and let him ride. Cause he in really good hands with Frank Wright, Jim Caldwell, and McComb. Those guys been mentoring quarterbacks from God knows when. They know how to get the best of our quarterbacks. And the team is in a good thing. Think we over the cap space, but couple restructures and we right back under it. Shaq Thompson may be a cap casualty, but we're not 100% sure yet. He got 24 million against the cap. If we release him, we save 14 million, but we can restructure him and we'll get 19 million cap space. So we'll see what happens there. But I like the makeup of the coaching staff. Evero and Dam Capers, they're gonna do their thing. They say we're going 3-4 because of what Evero and Dam Capers are do. I prefer that because you could put Bano and Brian Bonds on the edge in a 3-4 defense. Bano and Brian Bonds, and you got Shaq Thompson and Brandon Smith as your middle linebackers. They deal with that, and then you got the Yita Ghost Matos and Derek Brown up the middle with somebody else you sign. So I good with that. But I like the way the team come in. And I play in the NFC South. Just look at it. The Buccaneers just hire the Seahawks quarterback coach as the offensive coordinator. I know how well that gonna work. But just look at it. Look at the teams out there. Atlanta is still in a rebuild kind of thing. The only good thing on Atlanta side is they got about 70 million in cap space, so they can sign people. Tampa Bay, they ain't got no quarterback, and the team getting old. And New Orleans, damn near 40 million over the cap. I don't know. Every year they over the cap by 50 million, and still, I don't know how them does it. And still signing people. So we look at our division. It's wide open. We get the right pieces to add to this team, and we could be running the division with this good coaching staff. So hopefully we make the right decisions. But I'll see what happens as we go on. When I get to my offensive coordinator, I'll let you guys know. See what happens. We still got defensive line coach to go in something other thing. So we just gotta see. But from the Panthers front, I think everybody happy. I don't see the fans cussing David Tepper no more. They used to cuss the hell out of David Tepper and cuss up the Panthers street, but nobody cussing the Panthers no because of all these. When they had just hired Frank Wright, everybody was cussing. Now everybody loves Frank Wright and David Tepper. So I don't know. Everybody happy. They say according to the Albert Breer, Baker's drawing interest in the Saints from the Saints. So I don't know. But I just hope when I tell Shane that we got assault rifle coming to the Panthers, then don't tell me nothing. So we'll see. But all signs are happy in Carolina. I ain't too worried right now. I can't be thinking. KG is the one that had to get it off his chest.
Get on gun, so that make it better.
I ain't know about all that.
That make it so much better. He can.
So outside of that, I don't know if they any other NFL. I know that you usually got a lot of rumors around this time now that the NFL season is over.
It's,
You know,
it's still early because the Super Bowl just finished. So it's still early.
But Derek Carr got released.
I mean, he
Yeah,
got
I got
released.
released.
Yeah.
So I just get update there that the Restream is nearing the comeback.
With the Broncos.
Yeah, the Broncos defensive job,
Yep.
defensive coordinator job.
We got Bucks hire Seattle assistant as Seattle quarterbacks coach. Dave Canales is now Buccaneers new offensive coordinator. Gino and the Seahawks likely to reach a contract agreement. The Jets could pursue Lamar Jackson if they don't get Rodgers. Sterling Shepard is set to become a free agent. Uh, we know Derek Carr's released, so he can go and visit any team that he wants. So
I think the Saints interested in him.
yeah, the Saints gonna never admit that they think. I don't know. So outside of that, still a normal quiet time. Hopefully by next week now things gonna ramp up because you know that you get into the deadline to use your franchise tag and transition tag and so we'll get more next week on what's going on. But no, it's now the off season 2023-2024 off season is underway. Congrats to Kansas City Chiefs and all the fans that watch them and support them. They're the Super Bowl champs, and it's on to the next. It's on to the off season. Resigning. Some more teams still filling out staff. KG gonna have a lot of staff to fill out. Still
That's
gotta
that.
fill out my staff. Then on to the resigning period, then the free agency period, then the draft period, and then training camps. So we got a lot to cover as we come up into the free agency period. But I know the next show. What are you saying? Saturday or Sunday?
She ain't gonna be available Saturday.
Yeah, I back tomorrow night.
So probably Sunday then.
So Sunday. We gonna ease the shows down from 3 to 2 a week, and then probably once a week sometimes. But what we doing Saturday or Sunday? Which one we doing this weekend?
Probably Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday. All right. So we got Sunday night is our next show. No show Saturday, and hopefully we got some more news by time then to talk about. So outside of that, I'm good. I think KG got it out his system
Hmm.
and seeing just relaxing for the time being until something kick off. So that's it for me. Just make sure to like and subscribe the page. We on Twitter heavy, we on Facebook heavy, we on Instagram heavy, and we on YouTube heavy. So just keep liking and subscribing and keep showing your love to the guys them while we do our thing. So outside of that, I got nothing else. I don't know about you guys.
Peace.